Hello and welcome to another episode of Summit Podcast. I know you guys have been patiently waiting. We've been off for a week. I mean, you've been at Facebook every day waiting for the post. When is the Summit Podcast coming up? Well, we're back and we have somebody new with us in the studio, Summit Studios today. Abby, how are you?
Chad, I'm great. I'm glad to be here. Glad to be a part of the squad. This recording studio is top notch.
Yeah,
So
it really is.
I'm thankful to be a part.
Yeah, nothing but the best quality here. And so we are glad to have you. If you don't know Abby, Abby's on our staff. She oversees all of our global mission stuff at Summit, and then really wears multiple different hats on our team. Is an all-around rock star. And you guys know him, Nathan, Tia. I'm Chad. We're super excited to be here. We're in the midst of holiday season. We just got done with Thanksgiving. Is everyone full? Are we good?
Yep.
Very quickly, please tell us favorite Thanksgiving food, Nathan Tate.
Ooh, I guess I have to go pecan pie.
Tia.
Green bean casserole.
Abby.
Mashed potatoes, because it's pretty hard to mess up.
True.
Yeah.
Eat mashed potatoes pretty much all the time. So
Makes you think.
stuffing
Makes
is
you think exactly why it should be.
Stuffing is the correct answer. You guys. Sorry, no prizes will be awarded today. But hey, we're in the midst of it. Nathan and I got to teach this last Sunday. We actually talked on different things. And so instead of coming back to what we talked about on Sunday, we thought it would be practical to talk through really just the season and asking the question that should be asked. How do we keep Christ in Christmas, right, folks? Yeah, only the most relevant topics here. But I think that is actually a good place to start in really talking about how do we hold on to our faith during this time? How do we not lose our mind during Thanksgiving and Christmas? All of these kind of things. So I'm going to kick it to you, Nathan. I'm going to ask you, what are the big roadblocks? What are the things that people fall into when we think about something like the holiday season?
Well, I think for me, this is probably the reason a lot of people know me as Mr. Grinch at Christmas. I don't really hate Jesus being born. That is pretty important. But it's these pitfalls that people fall into that drive me crazy, and I fall into them too. I think getting busy, everything. You got kids programs, you've got class parties, you've got office parties, you got all this stuff going on, so you're just crazy busy the whole time. Then you get busy. It started last weekend with Black Friday, and you go shopping and you fight over gifts, and people lose their minds trying to get the latest Frozen toy or whatever, and then you get focused because of that. I think then we get focused on receiving instead of giving, and so I think all of that. I mean, I don't have this dark view of the world, but I mean, because I think a lot of people also start giving during this time. It focuses them on that as well. But it's just, I think that busyness and that thinking about ourselves and what am I going to get or what should I get. I shopped Black Friday and it was all for me. So it was great.
So you're trying to tell me that the 65-inch TV for under $400 was not divine appointment from the Lord? Because I find that hard to believe.
No, I bought it for Charlotte.
Well, so I definitely understand what you're saying, but I think it could be real easy, and I'll push back on you a little bit. Now, we may still want to stop Matt Oberdick from playing Christmas music starting April 1st, but I don't think we need to throw the baby out with the bathwater, right? And we can still think through, man, how do we have a meaningful, Christmas time? How do we continue to refocus, right, on the things that are important? So, Abby, tell us a little bit about what you're trying to do this year to continue to focus on the Lord during this time.
Yeah, so in my personal quiet times, I have been reading through Luke. So Luke has 24 chapters, which is an incredible opportunity because the Advent season is 25 days long, which has been really cool. So reading one chapter a day through Luke. And it's interesting because the first chapter of Luke is there's part of it that's centered around, the angel coming to Mary and letting you know, hey, you got a baby on the way. So I can only imagine feeling, as someone who's not married, just feeling absolutely frantic in that time, and I can resonate with her. And that's what I like to do when I'm reading scripture, is to put myself in the story and kind of resonate with how those people would feel. And I can imagine Mary just being absolutely terrified, trying to get everything put together and just being busy and feeling overwhelmed. So I'm looking forward to kind of the next 24 days, looking through how Mary handles that. It's a story that we all know and probably have all read through a million times, but really putting intentional time to read every single word, every single chapter of this story, of this incredible story of Jesus's life. And so if you set it up by reading one chapter every single day, by Christmas Eve, you get to kind of read 24, which is a really sweet, just like total recount of Jesus's life. So it's a really good way to just kick off the Advent season, and then wrap it up really well. Just being reminded of what kind of the December 25th means to us as Christians. So that's kind of what I'm doing personally. That's a really good way to do it, just as an alone time, a quiet time, and a way to get yourself in the Word consistently leading up to this season.
That's awesome. And it's so intentional and like focused as well, instead of just, I know for myself, it's always like I have these like great plans like after the fact, right? Or like it'd be cool to read Luke December 26th, right? And so that's really awesome. So even for our people that are listening, this is going to come live on the 3rd of December. Really, those first few chapters, you know what I mean? No, but like catch up pretty quick, and you'll be able to finish out on the 24th, and that would be very, very cool. I love it.
Yeah, awesome. And Tia, I just had a question for you as a mother, as a wife. Those are seasons that I'm walking into, of one a lot quicker than the other. I would love to kind of hear what you guys are doing as a family, to kind of really focus on the Lord and how that's worked into your time with your family, with your husband, and just all together as one unit.
Yeah. So we started a new tradition this year. We've read an Advent book in years past, but this year we got a kit actually at the end of last Christmas. It's called Star from Afar, and it comes with a book that tells about the story of Jesus' birth and talks about the 3 wise men and how they followed the star. And so it comes with a nativity set, which is durable for kids, which is perfect. So we set that up last night. We read the story, and the greatest part about it is that you take the star and you hide it. So the kids have to go find it, but they're taking the wise men to the star, because we know in the story of Jesus' birth that the wise men followed the star. And it comes with scripture that you read each day to go along with that. And so every day we're going to hide the star, and the kids are going to take the wise men to the star. The greatest part, I would like to say, it was like this beautiful family moment last night, but the reality is it was not, because even though I prefaced saying with my competitive children, listen, what happens if you're not the first one to find the star? And my sweet daughter said, you're not going to throw a fit. I was like, exactly. And then what happens? She didn't find it. And then what happened? She threw a fit. So, it may have not have been this like picture perfect family moment, but it was such a great opportunity to even remind myself of like, this isn't about all these presents and all the hubbub stuff that Nathan was talking about. Like, it's truly about Jesus and joy and this beautiful season. And so having to remind my children of, we're following the star to the birth of Jesus, and that's why we're doing everything that we're doing. So that was a fun night.
Yeah.
That's really cool, because for Martha and I, so Tuesday night is our date night, and that was one of the things that we were talking about, of what are we going to do this next Tuesday. And we're starting now. We have Malia is figuring out what are these traditions that we want to have as a family. And so, man, I've been encouraged listening to you guys today. One of the things that sticks out to me that I want to leave us with is this: there aren't always those picture perfect moments. And I think a lot of times we walk through this holiday season expecting the hallmark moment, but in reality, our relationship with the Lord is often messy, but it has to be intentional. And so for each of our listeners, and I think for us as well, this great reminder for us today of what are you doing to plan for, to make space, to meet with the Lord during one of the most stressful and busy times during the year. January is quickly approaching. 2020, I'm just now like starting to get used to writing 2017 on my checks. And so it is coming before we know it. Thank you guys so much for tuning in this week for the Summit Podcast, and we will see you guys next week. See you guys.
See ya.
See ya.
Hi, guys.